Podcasts make money. The top 1% makes a lot of money. But even mid-tier podcasts in the right niche, 1,000 to 10,000 listeners, can generate real income through sponsorships, affiliate deals, coaching, and digital products. The myth I want to bust today is that you need a massive audience to monetize. You don't. You need the right audience and the right monetization strategy for your niche. Today, I'm breaking down exactly how podcasts make money and what it realistically takes to get there. Off Clock Hustle logo animation with energetic sound. Welcome back to Off Clock Hustle. Podcasting has evolved from a hobby into a legitimate income vehicle for content creators who play it strategically. The audience numbers are staggering. Over 100 million Americans listen to podcasts regularly, and that number keeps growing. But most podcasters don't make money. Not because podcasting doesn't pay, but because they don't understand how it pays or build toward monetization with any strategy. Today, we're fixing that. Let's cover the actual revenue models, because most people only know about one or two. Sponsorships and advertising, the most well-known model. Brands pay to have their product mentioned on your show. The standard metric is CPM, cost per 1,000 downloads. Typical CPM rates are $15 to $50 for host read ads, with premium niches, finance, B2B, health at the high end. With 5,000 downloads per episode, $5,000, $1,040 CPM equals $200 per ad placement. A standard podcast runs 2 to 3 ad spots per episode. That's $400 to $600 per episode at 5K downloads. Affiliate marketing. Recommend products. Earn commission on purchases. No minimum audience requirement. Even a 500-listener podcast can earn affiliate income if the audience is engaged and trusts your recommendations. Direct listener support. Patreon, Spotify subscriptions, Apple Podcast subscriptions. Listeners who love your show pay $5 to $10 a month for bonus content, early access, or ad-free listening. 200 supporters at 8 months equals $1,600 a month. This model works at surprisingly small audience sizes with highly engaged niche communities. Digital products and courses. Your podcast audience is already warm. They spend hours listening to you. Selling a course, ebook, or digital product to your podcast audience converts at high rates because the trust is already built. High-ticket coaching and consulting. Podcast as a lead generation tool. You're demonstrating expertise weekly. Listeners who want to work with you specifically reach out. Even one coaching client per month at $500 to $2,000 significantly changes the income math. The monetization mix that works for most podcasters. Start with affiliate marketing and direct support. Add sponsorships when downloads justify it. Build toward digital products or coaching as the relationship with your audience deepens. Niche determines everything in podcasting. Your audience, your monetization potential, and how fast you grow. General rule: more specific is better. Personal development is a crowded space dominated by massive shows. Personal development for first-generation college students or personal development for shift workers is specific enough to own a corner of the market. Niches with strong advertiser demand: personal finance, investing, entrepreneurship, health and fitness, B2B professional topics, real estate. These have higher CPM rates when you reach sponsorship levels. Niches with strong direct monetization potential. Anything where your audience is a professional or business owner. They have money to spend, and they'll pay for products and coaching that help their work. Passion plus knowledge plus niche audience with money equals sustainable podcast business. You don't need $2,000 in equipment to start. You need audio that's clear and listenable. A USB condenser microphone. The Blue Yeti or Audio-Technica AT2020 run $100 to $150. A pop filter, $10 to $20. Record in a room with soft surfaces. Closet with clothes is legitimately good. A free record. Ding an editing tool like Audacity or GarageBand. That's $130 to $170 complete setup that produces professional-sounding audio. Many successful podcasts have been built on exactly this. For hosting, Buzzsprout, Anchor, Spotify for Podcasters, Podbean, or RSS.com. Most have free tiers. Your hosting service distributes your show to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and everywhere else. The barrier to starting is genuinely low. The barrier to persisting and growing is where most people stop. Podcast growth in 2026 happens through a combination of Consistent publishing. Weekly episodes, same day each week. Consistency builds habit listening. A weekly listener who's been with you for a year is dramatically more valuable than a monthly listener. Guest appearances. Be a guest on other podcasts in adjacent niches. You get introduced to their audience. This is one of the most efficient growth tactics available, especially podcast swaps, where you appear on their show and they appear on yours. Short-form clips. Turn 60 to 90-second clips from your episodes into TikTok and Instagram Reels content. Every viral clip drives new listeners to your show. This cross-platform strategy is how many podcasts in 2026 are growing the fastest. SEO-optimized show notes. Write detailed show notes with keywords your audience searches for. Google indexes this content. A well-written show notes page can drive consistent organic search traffic. Email list integration. Build an email list alongside your podcast. Your email list owns your audience relationship in a way podcast platforms don't. If Spotify changes its algorithm or Apple removes your show, your email list is yours. Set honest expectations. Podcasting is a slow build. Months 1 to 3. You'll likely have under 100 listeners per episode. That's normal. Focus entirely on quality, consistency, and finding your voice. Months 3 to 9. Consistent growth starts to compound if you're publishing regularly and growing your network. 500 to 2,000 downloads per episode by month 9 is a realistic target for a focused creator. Month 9 to 18. First monetization opportunities become viable. Affiliate marketing from episode 1 if you're talking about products. Sponsorships become realistic at 1,000 plus consistent downloads per episode in many niches. Year 2 to 3. Shows that stick and continue to grow enter serious monetization territory. The compounding effect of a growing back catalogue, every episode keeps getting discovered, means growth accelerates as you accumulate more content. Most podcasters quit in months 1 to 6 when it feels like they're talking to no one. The ones who persist through this phase are the ones who build something. A lot of people with podcast ideas never start because the technical setup feels intimidating. Let me break it down to what you actually need. Microphone, the single most important audio upgrade. A USB microphone in the $80 to $120 range, Audio-Technica ATR2100X, Blue Snowball, or Rode PodMic USB will produce audio quality that sounds professional to listeners. The gap between your laptop's built-in microphone and a quality USB mic is enormous. This investment pays off on episode. Recording software. Audacity is free and capable. GarageBand is free on Mac. These handle everything you need for solo or local record interviews. Remote recording. For remote guests, Riverside.fm and Zencastr record each speaker's audio locally and in high quality, then sync it. This prevents the someone's internet dropped degradation that ruins so many interview podcasts. Editing. Descript is the most creator-friendly podcast editing tool available. It transcribes your recording and lets you edit the audio by editing the text document, delete a sentence from the transcript, and the audio cut happens automatically. It removes filler words, like, with one click. If you're spending hours editing audio, Descript cuts that time in half. Hosting, Buzzsprout, Podbean, or Anchor, now Spotify for podcasters, handle RSS feed creation and distribution to Spotify, Apple, Google, and every other platform. All have free or low-cost tiers for new shows. Total setup cost, $100 to $150 for the microphone. Everything else can start free. The technical barrier to podcasting in 2026 is effectively zero for anyone willing to spend an afternoon setting it up. The real barrier is consistency over months. One of the most underused leverage points in podcasting, every episode you create can become content for multiple other platforms with minimal additional work. Audio clip to social video. Pull the 60 and 90-second most impactful moment from each episode. Add subtitles, Capwing or Descript both handle this, and a simple background image. You have a TikTok, Instagram Reel, and YouTube Short that drives listeners to the full episode. Transcript to blog post. Automatically transcribe your episode, lightly edit for readability, and publish as a blog post. This content is SEO indexed by Google. Someone searching for your topic finds your blog post and becomes a podcast listener. Key takeaways to newsletter. Summarize the 3 most actionable ideas from each episode in a brief email to your list. The podcast generates the content. The email keeps subscribers engaged between episodes. Quotes to social graphics. Pull punchy quotes from your transcript. Design them in Canva, post to Instagram and LinkedIn. These drive shares and new listener discovery. One episode, created once, distributed across podcast, YouTube Shorts, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, your blog, and your email list. That's 7 content pieces from a single production session. This multi-channel distribution is how small podcasts grow faster than they should based on episode count alone. Podcasting makes money for people who niche correctly, build consistently, and deploy multiple monetization strategies rather than waiting for sponsorships to appear. Start with affiliate marketing and direct support. Let your audience grow. Add sponsorships when downloads justify it. Build toward the digital products and coaching that convert your warmest audience at premium rates. The investment is primarily time and consistency. The return is a growing, loyal audience and an income stream that compounds for as long as you keep creating. The episodes you publish today will still be getting downloaded and earning money 2 years from now. That compounding content library is what makes podcasting worth the slow early period. Subscribe to Off Clock Hustle for weekly breakdowns on building real income. Drop a comment. Do you have a podcast idea you've been sitting on? Tell me the niche. Let's talk about it. See you in the next one.